Alright, here we go. This will be episode 4. My mic settings are a little bit better now, so I'm hoping that future videos will have a little bit more sound to them. I did want to point out one thing, and that is that I've gotten sick over the course of the last day. So, sound settings good, personal settings not quite as good, but we'll get there. So at this point, we left off. I have 3 dudes that are way underleveled. I have 2 dudes who are pretty good, and I just want to spend a minute with my boy Krapface and my boy Lettuce and see what we can get done. Peanut I'm not going to worry about, but Krapface we have to. He needs it. So I'm going to try to get everybody to 10, and we'll see what happens. If you've watched the latest Blayze video, you know that his Spearow is a million times more crap than mine, because mine has like a ridiculous amount of attack power compared to his. I'm just saying. So that's important to note. I have a high faith that the Spearow could take on higher level kind of shittier Pokemon like Zubat, especially if he's gonna do a bug move like that and gonna do nothing. But the reason that my Spearow is, I think, a better Spearow, not that it really needs that much comparison, but he's got the calm nature and the training in the Viridian Forest, which actually kind of lowers the special, or his physical attack a little bit. Not that I'm doing anything special here in this forest, or cave, for Lettuce, but his attack is bomb. And I think that's one of the things that I noticed when he was fighting me, is that he seemed pretty tough. So I'm hoping that he'll turn out to be a pretty good damage dealer, and in the meantime, eventually, I'll have Krapface to a high level. So that's the plan. Pew pew, pew pew. I might try to do a couple episodes today, I don't know. I'm going to try to get in advance another week, like I have before. Geodudes you gotta watch out for. I'll be switching to Shizz, specifically, just because of the super effective grass move. Otherwise people are going to have a hard time beating on that. So last episode we got Bullet Seed, and Bullet Seed is a great move, especially with technical Pokemon, which I don't know that we'll have any access to, but I don't have anybody I want to give it to, which is the big thing. There's really no reason to try to give it to Bulbasaur, because Vine Whip is going to most likely be better most of the time, and level 14 was it? Lettuce don't stand a chance. Boyd, get after it. Yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like you have a good shot with what is it? The Bullet Seed versus the Vine Whip. It's just a better move, Vine Whip, because he doesn't have anything that's making Bullet Seed stronger, and there's no guarantee it's going to hit more, so it's not that great, but it's a good move to have, because it's one of those things that I think a lot of random Pokemon can get. Like if we were to get Paris or something else, it'd give it a nice grass attack move, something a little more unique. I was kind of hoping that Peener could learn it, but he's a huge pile of crap, as I have already stated, so it's not going to happen. This Clefairy, with its double slap, is actually kind of a threat because of the multiple critical potential. But I ain't worried about it. I ain't even worried about it. I mean, it probably won't kill me. Probably. So anyway, my plan is to just kind of work my way through this cave, at least poke around in it, to try to get items and to try to get my guys up a little higher up, and then we'll do a big push through the entire cave. But not until I'm quite ready, because I'm a little concerned about the end results here being negative with the 3 Pokemon I have that are a little bit more piece of crappy. So we'll see what happens. Pew, pew, pew. I might have to, given that I've continued to kind of whiff on some things, like when I accidentally murdered the Zubat last game. I might have to level up this bug Pokemon, this Spinner. I don't really want to, though. I feel like he's too jank. The thing about this guy is he isn't going to learn anything really good for a very long time. Fury Attack is kind of trash, and his attack stat is just not that good. 23 it might be the highest on my team, but it doesn't matter. I don't have a very good team. You know what I mean? As a full evolution, like Pidgeotto, as soon as I get him to, I think, 18, he's just going to be better, hands down. So, whatever. But yeah, we're going to definitely use Krapface exclusively until he levels. Because he will make a big difference. And if I can get a water Pokemon, that would be a huge, huge difference by the time we beat Misty. If we beat Misty, which I'm pretty sure we will, because, I mean, Shay's going to rock it. So if we manage to do that, then Krapface, he will get Water Pulse, I believe, from Misty, which is, it's a water move. I mean, it's not really great for him because he's really physical, but having a water move on a Pokemon would be really pretty great. So, I mean, that's what we're going for. In the meantime, I'm just going to kind of trip through this cave and see what I can see. Probably should have purchased a escape rope, but I ain't worried, you know? You just got to be judicious, and I can be judicious about who I fight. It's just Zubats and stuff like that for now. I mean, mostly I don't think I'm going to suffer any major things unless trainers get in the way. But as long as I have Shizz, no one can stop me. That's a fact. So, since there's not a lot of content this episode besides sneaking around this cave and picking up what I can, probably we'll talk about my future plans for this channel. One of which is I would like to continue having these kinds of challenges with Blayze. Not necessarily Pokemon, but lots of different things, and whether they be co-op or competitive or what have you, that's a big deal. Like, I want that to be kind of a big focus on my channel. But other than that, like with the Rencounter episode that I posted, we'll be highlighting episodes of things that I just kind of have enjoyed the last little bit. See, I only recently got a PC. I've been a console gamer forever and ever and ever. And so it's kind of weird to go back and look at all these like pretty great games that are on PC that I've never really gotten a chance to play. And it's cool. So I get the opportunity to do a lot of stuff that I haven't had before and to play a lot of things that, goddamn it. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with all these unique early access games and things like that. This thing right here, this Magnemite, screw this Magnemite. This might be a problem. The reason being is I don't know if it knows Sonic Boom, but it sure knows Thundershock. That's not going to be good. Thundershock is really bad for everybody involved. I'm going to try to... Because the thing is, he might know Sonic Boom, which is a straight 20 damage move. And I don't know how Steel... The poison is not going to work because he's Steel. The Leech Seed might. And that might be good enough to keep me alive if he does know Sonic Boom. But you really have to watch out for moves like Dragon Rage and Sonic Boom and Seismic Toss that just do straight damage because there is no defense. And that kind of thing is just horrible. Horrible to deal with. So I'm on the fence about whether or not I should just worry about it. But even if he does have a 20 damage move, come on, I ain't worried about it. It's Shizz. He's a boss. Does Metal Sound reduce speed or defense? Special defense. That doesn't matter a lot because I can tank the Thundershock real easy. The early Steel type Magnemites and things like that are just terrible. because nobody's super effective against him. Unless you got lucky with that Charmander in the first pick, but I mean, really, that's not that great, because Charmander's worse against everything else. This guy, I'm pretty sure we can just poison. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm not quite sure how strong this guy is, and he might also have Sonic Boom. So we're going to just try to ping him to death. And that's going to be Shizz, in a nutshell, is pinging people to death, slow burn, and tanking. So when I get the opportunity down the road, we're going to put Giga Drain on him. We're going to give him pretty much this moveset right here, but with Giga Drain. And he'll be pretty hard to beat, I'm hoping. One of the things that's not outlawed in this Nuzlocke is held items. And I don't think either of us have gotten held items yet. But that's fine. We're probably not going to chase any, but if they come up, they come up. We're not using berries because they heal, potentially. I'm not opposed to the ones that do status ailment healing and things like that. That's all fine. But we are definitely not doing in-battle healing as part of the Nuzlocke, so is what it is. So I would say leftovers, for instance, because they heal in battle, would be outlawed, but you could do things like Razor Claw that raises critical hit rate and things like that. No big deal. The idea being that you can make your Pokemon stronger, but you can't necessarily heal them in the fight. So there will be, down the road, stuff like that, and even though it does affect healing, I would say Big Root and things like that that make Giga Drain more powerful are things that I would definitely leave on Bulbasaur. Because it does affect healing, but it isn't healing him. It just makes his moves that heal more powerful. Which I do kind of feel like is a workaround, but hey, I got Bulbasaur, I'm going to use him, right? Be kind of lame if I couldn't use his natural moves, so say what you will. But that's why I like Bulbasaur the best, because he's a lot more of a finesse Pokemon compared to Charizard, which is just beast through everything, and Squirtle, which is like just a defensive Pokemon, really. He's not that strong. Bulbasaur just kind of wiggles around and just kind of works through it, and you can win some really negative type matchups. Like, he can actually do pretty well against stuff like Fire and things like that, where he normally would lose, but because he's got healing, because he's got sleep powder and tricks like that, he can do okay. I haven't really talked to Blayze about it, but I think we might have to institute the Sleep Claws too. And for those who don't know, Sleep Claws is standard Pokemon. You can't put more than 2 of their Pokemon to sleep at any time. I think it's only 2. I don't even remember, so something to think about. I don't know that would affect him too much at this rate, because his Pokemon do not have moves like that, but I do, and I kind of feel like it's cheesy to put half their team to sleep. But I don't think, the way this game works, it's not really probably going to come into play a lot, because people aren't going to switch out against me, because it's just computer controlled. So most of the time, like, if a bad matchup occurs, they don't switch out to deal with it. They just say, oh shit, it's a bad matchup, and then they get their ass kicked. So that's going to be alright too. So I probably won't have to worry about Sleep Claws, but I will personally try to hold myself to it. Especially in late game trainer, which maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves there, but I don't know. I'm not really worried about it. I feel like I'm actually in a pretty good place in this challenge at this very moment, if only because I got some hefty dudes, and even though Krapface is just that, down the road he will be less of a Krapface. So I got high hopes. Spearow's annoying because he doesn't learn a lot of moves, but Peck is just, it's a solid. Because Gust from Pidgey being a special attack and Peck being physical attack, I prefer physical attack at this very moment in the game, because I just feel like Pidgey doesn't really have good stats, period. And so having like a stronger physical presence with Lettuce here makes a big difference. I like that Lettuce and Krapface are also evenly leveling. It seems like they're pretty much keeping even keel. So this will be actually a pretty good squad, those two. And eventually Krapface might even overtake Lettuce. But it's going to be a long road before that guy is strong. And if and when I get to that point, it's going to be alright. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be pretty solid to have. He'll round out the team pretty well. Like I said, I might have to swallow my pride here and use Peener, but I mean, I'm struggling to think why I would, because bug moves are just trash. They're strong against grass and psychic. And psychic you just don't face that much in the main game. And grass, I've got 2 flying Pokemon, right? So why do I need anything besides that? I don't think I do. So it's kind of a waste of time. And I don't know what else he learns, but I know it's not that great. He might end up just being the dude who learns cut and strength and things like that, if he can even do it. I should probably not let Lettuce die here. Yeah, Krapface. A little disappointed in Krapface's attack stat. I don't know that it's supposed to be that low, but what are you going to do? If he ends up being kind of shit, he'll still be okay. And that's the thing with the Nuzlocke, is like you kind of just deal with what you get. Like, I don't think he'll be very strong physically based on his stat growth, but maybe I'll be surprised. You know what I should have done is I should have thrown that shit face in there, Peener, and had him try to take out this thing, because he would, but it doesn't matter. In a couple levels, Boyd will be a hero, because he'll hit level 18. I think that's when he gets to be Pidgeotto. I could be wrong. It's hard for me to remember if Rattata is Raticate at 18 or Pidgey is Pidgeotto at 18. One of them is 18, one of them is 20, I think. But it's very, very critical because it just puts him at a higher level that lets him fight much better. That stat boost between Pidgey and Pidgeotto is very, very generous, and that's gonna make him probably my best Pokemon for a little while, and then he'll get completely overshadowed by everybody else real quick. I'm going to absolutely use that rare candy on Krapface when he's level 17. That is the plan. Because the less levels I have to spend doing this crap, the better. No choice but to use Peener. Because I don't want to risk Lettuce getting aced. Look how much damage that frickin' Zubat just did. This is disappointing. I'm never gonna use this guy and not think he's disappointing. His damage is just so bad. I don't even care that he's about to kill this thing with 5. If he was a real man, it would have been a good one-hit KO. But he ain't nothing. He just isn't. Fury Attack I don't really like. The reason I do not like it very much is it has atrocious accuracy, I think of 85%. So it's very unreliable, and you do not want unreliable in Nuzlocks. You just don't. I think I've been pretty good about not using items, so I'm going to go ahead and toss a potion onto Lettuce. I just looked at my items, and I'm a little disappointed. I have nothing but a Paralyze Heal and a Rare Candy, besides potions, so I should really duck out and go to the Pokemon Center real quick. So we will make our way back to town. I'll get some supplies, and we'll go from there. I don't want to be caught getting poisoned halfway through. I'm surprised I didn't. I think I fought a Weedle or something. I know I fought Caterpies and Metapod, so they can't be too far away. I'm going to need probably the rest of the potions. I have 8 to get through the cave just to make sure I don't have any issues. PP will become a problem because the Zubats. But that's part of the reason we're just exploring the cave right now. Just kind of slowly but surely make our way through without throwing things away too much. If I'm lucky, and I'm pretty sure I know where some of them are, but the rare candies besides the one I just got, I think there's like a few more that are able to be found here and there in the next few areas. I know there's one behind somebody's house and cerulean and so forth. So we'll see what I can get done. Pew 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 pew. I don't have the patience for this. There we go. But yeah, so I want to proceed eventually towards making a lot more videos than what I do. I don't have a lot of personal time, so that does prevent me from getting a lot of these things done. So it's actually kind of a rarity for me to have like an hour to myself without staying up super late for everybody else in the house to go to sleep. Otherwise, it's kind of impossible for me to make recordings. Because they would either be interrupted like really quickly, or it would pick up everybody in the universe's background sounds. So I have to kind of pick and choose when I get to do this, but I'm trying to make it so that I can at least upload 3 times a week. And right now we're doing Wednesdays and Saturdays for uploads of Pokemon. And everything else is fair game. So if I'm lucky, I will get a couple episodes of this 2 or 3 down, maybe, hopefully, and then start uploading other titles, other things that I'm interested in. And who knows? I mean, I expect I'll have a lot of different things. So if there's anybody out there who does want to see something particular, and I have it, I'll be happy to take a look at it as something. Hey, you know what I did is not anything useful. That was pretty great. But I'd go back. Good thing I caught myself. Could have been stupid, but I needed to go here, and I did not. I went all the way over there to heal after I think I already healed. So, strokes. I'm having them. I got plenty of money. We're going to get 5 antidotes, 1 escape rope in case of emergency, 1 repel in case of emergency, and like 3 or 4 more Pokeballs. That should keep me stacked for a while. I don't know how many Pokeballs I have. I should actually look at that though. 11. That's more than enough. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I got a slot in my team that's open, and that always makes me nervous. I feel like it gets to be pretty tricky starting after Cerulean. This part through Mount Moon, I don't think is very hard at all, because I think the types are very predictable in Mount Moon, and the trouble you can get into is pretty limited since it's not too long of a cave. And I have a pretty good sense of direction for this kind of thing, so I can get... I'm not going to get tripped up anywhere. So, it's fine with me. I wish there was something more interesting going on, but I'm going to kill everybody with these 2, Krapface and Lettuce. I think it's time for me to go down this way. I don't know exactly where all the special invisible items are, so if I miss them, I miss them. I would have loved to have had a Paris. Not because I think they're particularly good, but just because in a Nuzlocke, I think it's fun to be forced to use something that you never really get a chance to. And Paris is something I've never used. But I am interested in... wow, he gets owned by flying. I think he's bug grass, so he's like extra shitty against flying. But yeah, I may miss some of these special items on the ground. I'm gonna try not to if I know where they are, but I'm sure there's plenty of stuff that I will miss. And I ain't worried about it. I ain't even worried about it. Whew, I have to be careful. Let us take in some hits. Be pretty embarrassing if, oh, and he got effect spored. Does that matter? I don't think it does. I think he instantly wakes up after the fight. But that is something to keep an eye out for, I guess. I did not consider effect spore. That's, if you make physical contact with a Pokemon, you can get a random status. Random statuses, of course, include, oh, he is asleep. That's balls. Random statuses include, but are not limited to, poison, paralysis, and sleep. I don't think you can freeze via... oh, shit. Shit. This is the first Team Rocket guy. I think he's going to have Rattatas. Because they all have Rattatas. Oh, he's got a Sandshrew. That's pretty neat. Krapface would be insta-KO'd. I think a lot of the stuff I have would be KO'd by this thing. He's going to have some moves. Kind of want to get Boyd some experience, but I don't know if I want to risk that versus... we're going to risk it. I don't want to have to switch out too much because I don't want to limit the experience. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. The defense curl reminds me of something that could go wrong. We're going to Gust. And I hope that thing that I think might go wrong doesn't go wrong. That crit helps. So he can defense curl all he wants because that's the benefit of having Gust, is it goes through defensive curl because it's special attack. But whether or not that's going to be good enough, I don't know. Long term, we'll see. Krapface, put him down. Pretty soon he learns Tackle. I think it's like level 12 or something. I don't know. I'm not particularly worried about Tackle, but it's alright. I mean, because then you can take him to Viridian Forest, and then he can just kind of like barely 1v1 Metapods. Which is hilarious because it shouldn't take that long, but we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely not going to take him to Viridian Forest, though, just because I feel like it's dumb. I mean, we don't need to do that. We've already got an advantage here of some pretty strong Pokemon, so I'm not going to go back and grind this thing to level 18. I feel like that would be kind of against the spirit of this competition. So I will try to level him up through the cave as much as possible. But he's going to kick our ass if... or somebody could kick our ass if I'm not careful. Ha! Killed your Pokemans. I'm going to take your star piece too, which I really don't think is useful. Yeah, Krapface hitting level 10 already. I think that's a 5 level increase since the first time I used him. I'm going to try to get this kid to wake up, because Zubat ain't going to do nothing to him. But yeah, I do have high hopes for Krapface eventually being a solid pick. So we'll see what happens. Lettuce waking up. That's what's good right here. That's what's good. 30 experience at a drop ain't really great. I mean, it's gonna take a long ass time for a Krapface to really start laying it down. But when he does, he's gonna be good. So these two, I'm gonna try to primarily level these two. I'm skipping this guy, as you see. These guys are okay. I would love to get Boyd to 18 before I get to the end of this cave. But the idea is everybody as close to 18 as possible is what I'm trying to do. I don't really know what level Misty is, but our gentleman's agreement is to kind of base our leveling around those levels. So if you're a couple levels ahead or a couple levels behind, it's okay to face the trainer, but you shouldn't really be doing it after like power leveling like till 30 when their trainer's highest Pokemon is like 20. So I don't really remember anything about their levels. I should really look into that. But I mean, I'm not doing anything unnatural at this point, so we shall see. I'm getting a little aggressive here, trying to get further in the cave and knock out trainers and make progress, because I know this isn't going to be the full run. At least I don't think it is. So slowly but surely I'm going to try to get through all of these people. This guy's not a trainer, he's just dicking around in here? Really? Alright, well you keep doing what you're doing, man. That's clearly a trainer. You know by the fact that she's walking in circles. Nothing says trainer like walking in a circle. See, I mean, like level-wise and type-wise, Krapface would have this. But he's a huge pile of crap. Hence the name, Krapface. I'm really excited to get to the next area though, because I feel like I really want to slip one more Pokemon into this team. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the next area has Ekans, and that would be a really cool addition. Not because it would be particularly great, but because I enjoy it. It's a fun Pokemon, and I don't know if it learned Coil in this gen. I'm pretty sure it does not, but Coil was a baller ass move, and it's fun. I think that one does accuracy and defense and attack up, or something like that, or maybe special defense and attack. I don't know. Is this an Oddish? What the hell's an Oddish doing in here? Should I? Yeah, Oddish don't have nothing. The only thing I have to worry about is Poison Powder. Yeah, Absorb's not going to do shit against Lettuce, and Lettuce is going to do many shit against this thing. Many shit. So I think after this trainer, I'm going to duck out. It's been about 30 minutes, so we will call it an episode, and then we'll get right back into it. Part 2 of whatever I call this thing. But it's going pretty well. Easily dispatching these fool trainers, and Lettuce getting the opportunity to flex his beak. I don't know how you flex a beak, but he's doing it. Dangerously close to dying, but Peck's got 100% accuracy, so Bellsprout, get the fuck out. Yeah. Speed increase of 3. Is not bad. Alright, so he's a little hurt. It's probably a good idea to get out anyway. We made a lot of progress, I think about 30% of the way through the cave in terms of trainers. Got a lot done. Confidence levels rising. You know, we're in good shape. If I keep doing what I'm doing here and I'm careful, then we will see Krapface rise to level 18 in no time. Not exactly the most exciting fights, but it'll do. And I said I wouldn't mess with Peener, but he's the only alternative to scrub Zubat fights. So I'm going to throw him in just because it's not going to hurt if he's around. I could have Pidgey deal with it, but Pidgey will get there, and I don't want to overlevel him. Because I'm going to need Pidgey when the fights get hard in the cave. Because I think at least a couple times you have to fight some trickier people. So anyway, that's that for now. Hit that like button, subscribe to me if you can, if you want. I got some stuff coming down the pipe, it's going to be good. And let me know if there's anything you want to see. And we'll see what happens. So right now, I think a fair amount of progress is made. We're still in really good shape, healthy, all that. I'm ready for the next episode.